Alright, in this video we are going to be talking about the best fighting style in Grand Peace Online. Let's get into it. Okay, Rokushiki is the best fighting style in GPO, and here's why. The explanation is really not that surprising. It's just when you look at every other fighting style, I feel like Rokushiki has the most to offer in at least a PvP sense. In a grinding sense, I guess you could say that Blackleg is better because you can use it for Diable, but I feel like when you clicked on this video, you kind of knew it was for PvP, because when it comes to PvE, your fighting style doesn't really matter all that much unless you're fruitless. So yeah, let's just carry on with this video assuming that I'm mainly talking about PvP. So when it comes to Rokushiki, you are given a few key things that put it on top of the rest. That main one being your Soru Dash. Your Soru Dash has to be the tryhard's delight, okay, when it comes to PvP. Anybody who's good at the game or good at PvP in general will absolutely spam their Soru Dash and be constantly dashing around, keeping you second guessing where they are, trying to get combos, trying to start combos, trying to extend combos, or even trying to finish combos. They will use Soru Dash for absolutely everything, and that's kind of the key to this fighting style and what makes it so good. You can Afro Dash with it, which if you don't know allows you to either combo extend or get a guaranteed skill off after an M1 combo that you normally wouldn't be able to get off after you just simply dash and do your final M1 at the same time. It's a really good skill. You can use it's a really good tech, I guess. I don't know. You can use it to either combo extend with some skills or just get a bunch of damage off with a free skill. So regardless of how you want to use it, it's really good. Now, something that used to be really good, but I guess you can still count, is the fact that it's given GPO without you having to go to the other island and buy your GPO. Yeah, I know it's not really that big of a deal because any fighting style can get GPO now, but hey, I just think it's more convenient to use GPO with Rokushiki than it is with every other fighting style, except for Blackleg, of course. But with that being said, Rokushiki is also given another very useful tool, which is Shigan and Renkokyu. Now these two are pretty much used in the same way. Not really. Shigan is mainly just chucked out, and people like to combo extend with Shigan, dash behind people's guards, Afro dash with Shigan even, and then try to combo extend with Shigan. You can do a lot with Shigan. People used to Kirby slam with Shigan, which if you don't know what update 3 techs are, it's pretty much when you up tilt, do a skill, and then after the skill goes out, then you down slam, which you can do with Shigan considering the fact how little end lag it has and how short the windup is. So you can do that with it. Shigan is just a very good all-around skill that a lot of people who use Rokushiki tend to take advantage of, and Renkokyu is in a similar fashion, but people tend to not really combo with it all that much. They'll really just use all that stun that it has. They'll maybe use it to throw into a combo just for extra damage. Maybe if people use barrier cage, they'll use it. It's a very solid skill in specific situations. It's not all around very good though, to be honest. Then you have Takai, which in my opinion is a very underrated skill. A lot of people don't use it. You can use it for grinding, so there's a strong point for Roku in grinding, and it pretty much makes you invincible. It is very hard, especially with Haki, to break somebody's guard if they're using Takai, but I think that Takai is just not applied properly by a lot of people. Of course, people see an ult being charged up, whether that's Enkai or the Goro ult, they'll see that being charged up and they'll just use Takai, right? Well, that's not the only application for it. For example, Hiei users have Frostblade, right? You can simply Takai. If you're too far away to dash behind their guard and dodge the Frostblade, or you're not confident, or you're low and can't dodge the Frostblade and you feel as if you have to eat it, then simply just Takai it. It's very good. You won't get frozen, you won't take any damage, and it's very solid. And that really applies to any move that's a little harder to avoid, that does a little too much damage, that you don't want to get caught into, that has a big windup. Light lunge, you don't want to get hit by light lunge? Takai. Any skill with big windups can be Takai'd with ease. And I would recommend starting to incorporate Takai into your PvP, because a lot of people really don't, and I think it's a shame that people don't incorporate Takai. Next, you have, the ult, which I can't remember what the ult is called for the life of me, but the ult is actually very solid. Now, not a lot of people use the ult, but it's very few skill points to get. I believe it's only up to 95, and you're putting 20 in anyways to get GPO, so the extra 75 really don't hurt. I think that 75 skill points being put in Roku is, especially if you really like taking advantage of combos, it's definitely very, very worth it, because if you want to know a little trick to get a guaranteed M1 combo or guaranteed skill off or whatever the sort may be, with your Roku ult, you can simply Geppo into the air, look straight down at your opponent, and then go for the ult, and then they will be stunned and looking straight at you. Now, sometimes this can be finicky. They can bounce around. They can go back to their spawn. It is very annoying sometimes, but for the most part, they should just bounce and then land right in front of you. And boom, you can get a free M1 combo off, which is really, really, really good. Now, not to mention the fact that Roku Shiki pairs well with almost every single fruit in the game. The only fruits that I would say it doesn't pair the greatest with is fruits with TP dashes, because fruits with TP dashes like Pika, Goro, and Paw, they can't really take good advantage of that Soru dash, well, because they can't really use it. So they're really losing the strongest point that Roku Shiki has, which is a large chunk of its combo ability and its mobility. So that really, really, really sucks. But every other fruit, with the exception of maybe very, very few, you can definitely use Roku Shiki with, and it'll work great. For example, Bari is one of the best fruits you can use with Roku Shiki, because you can Afro Dash into stairs and then Afro Dash into barrier cage, and then use some heavy hitting weapon of sorts. Do an M1 combo with that, chuck out a skill, do a Renkoku, get another M1 combo out of that, do a Shigon, get another M1 combo out of that, and then hell, if you're, depending on what fruit you have, you can just ult them. Or honestly, if you want to just go for the Roku Shiki ult and then put a barrier cage on them, you can do that. You're given almost limitless possibilities with that Soru dash, and there's a reason that a majority of the techs in this game are found with Soru dash. For example, you can drag your M1s, which is, I think, when you turn around and then check out a skill. Does that rely on Soru dash? I actually don't think it does, but I think a lot of people do it with Shigon. I can't really remember what dragging your M1s is now that I think about it. But you can obviously Afro Dash, which is obviously, again, just made a reappearance, which completely relies on Soru Dash and Roku Shiki. You can also Bazooka Extend, which, if you don't know what that is, you can look up a video for more detailed explanation, but it's pretty much when you chuck out 4 M1s, or is 4 M1s to knock back? Yeah, you check out 3 M1s, and on the third M1, you switch to Bazooka, and then, okay, on the second to last M1, you switch to Bazooka. You click very fast, then switch back to your weapon, do your final M1, and then switch back to Bazooka. Wait, how do you do it? Hold on. No. Okay, on your third to last M1, I think it is. Yeah, so on your third M1, after your third M1, you switch to Bazooka. Then you click, and then you do your fourth M1, and then you shoot the Bazooka. And then you'll be able to Soru Dash after your opponent and get a fresh new M1 combo, even though you only did 4 M1s in the first one. So you're getting 9 M1s total. Then obviously you can do whatever combo extenders you want. Again, with Soru, you're pretty much given so many combo extenders if you combine them with the right fruits, right weapons, right fighting styles, that you wouldn't be able to get with other fighting styles. Or not fighting styles, other fruits and weapons that you wouldn't be able to get with other fighting styles. So yeah, that's just my take on why Roku Shiki is the best fighting style in Grand Peace Online. I hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry for messing up there with my explanations at the very end, but hey, I did my best. So I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.